Heather? Oh, hold on. You're on mute. Hold on. Unmute. Hello?
Hello?
Hi, Heather?
Hey.
Hi, it's good to finally meet you.
Oh my gosh. I'm wondering if my laptop doesn't have a camera.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I can see you now. I can see
Okay,
it.
we're on my cell phone. I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's
What a
okay.
mess.
It's good to finally meet. I've been trying to find you for quite some time now, you see.
Really? How did you
Yeah.
find me?
I found you on this website, but I want to keep it secret because other people, some stuff. It's the same one I found Kim Savar too. Did you ever remember voice actress Kim Savar? She used to work on Neon Genesis Evangelion, and you two worked together a long time back in the 90s.
Okay, no, I don't remember her. The name sounds
Uh,
familiar, but I can't. We never
I
really
can
meet
show,
each other, so
I can show you the picture.
okay.
Let me see. I'm using my old phone. This will be Kim right here. I don't know if you can see her.
She does look familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, she
Yeah,
did
that
anime in the 90s, back in the 80 films.
that would have been my time, yes.
Yeah, there was Sword Hunters you worked with, and those who hunt elves.
Oh, gotcha.
And I
Gotcha.
made contact with her too. It's a
Okay.
small group. Yeah. And because I've been trying to interview people from my childhood for the voice actors. Hmm.
Yes. Well, it's
And
an
I
honor
appreciate
to
you. Yeah, it's really
it's an
good to.
honor.
Mhm.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you too.
Because there's no interview I can find about you on the YouTube and anywhere to be.
I've
And
never been interviewed.
really,
You're
I'm a
really? They wanted me to go on those anime conventions, but at the time I was doing a lot of theater and a lot of film, and I just could never quite get to the conventions, and I regret it now. It looks like it would have been a blast.
okay. It's not your fault because this is what I tell them. Like basically to the voice actor, if I couldn't go to the convention, why not just bring the convention to you? Is what I'm doing.
Exactly.
But also with this video, have you heard seen the Big Bang Theory with James Earl Jones? That episode?
You know, it's interesting, Big Bang Theory. So Jim Parsons is from Houston, and we did a bunch of plays together.
Awesome. My
Yes,
mom.
so I've never seen the show, but we worked together years ago. He's just so talented, and I'm so proud of him.
Oh, I'm glad you asked me about that. I like to show a quick scene from this video, so hopefully you can hear it.
I can't hear anything. I can see it.
Oh, thank you.
Can't hear it.
It's okay. It cuts out.
Still can't hear it.
Yes, it's just like
I
this.
love James Earl Jones. Gosh, he was wonderful.
Yeah. Oh,
It went away.
oh shoot! Hold on. That wasn't the one. Oh shoot. Let me see. Not here. Uh,
said if I bothered you while you were eating, you'd think I was a creepy stalker. Yes, Mr. Jones.
I need to watch the show.
You're gonna love it.
Kyle, you were a stutterer and were a fun movie for 8 years. You sure?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
let's look up it.
James, listen to your stories all night. It's a little crazy, so get ready to run.
oh, that's I love her. That was a sad loss.
It could have ended with a character. You came to us near the strip club. How much does it cost to get them off my lap? This was a convention. Oh, right. Well, my friends and I couldn't get into Comic-Con this year, and I was trying to start my own convention. And I was going to ask if you would be a panelist. Why don't you and your friends come to Comic-Con with me? Really? Of course. San Diego is right across the border from my favorite city on earth, Tijuana.
How'd you like that one?
Oh my gosh, that was so cute. Yeah, I
Oh,
need
I
to
love.
watch that show.
Okay, because that one I like the show because they showed they couldn't go to the convention. Why not just bring the convention instead? Like, they've been
Yeah, that
because I have never been to a convention.
oh, you should go.
Yeah, we had one in around here in Fairfax, but it didn't last long, and they took it out. Only a few.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
it's really good to finally meet you from my childhood.
Nice to meet you too.
The first time I would say I heard your voice was in Martian Sadisco and Nadesco, and that was around the early 2000s.
Yes. Yes. It's been a while.
And I was surprised that the other voice actors left from the 2000s too afterwards.
It was a good time.
Yeah, those were good times back in the day. And I just wanted to hear their voice after so long, after we go up years later.
Mm-hmm.
hmm Or again, I'll just ask you the questions. And try to.
Okay.
And
All
I want
right.
to apologize for the first Wednesday since we couldn't meet together. first time, and then the second time is when you lost your friend, and then so.
Yes, yes. But we're here now.
Okay. Well, question one: how did you get your start as a voice actress?
So I was living in Houston, and my husband was also an actor, a voiceover artist. And this was back in the days where, the internet wasn't as proficient and as present. And so we literally saw an audition in the newspaper for voiceover artists for, they called it at the time, Japanimation. They didn't really say anime. It was Japanimation. And we didn't know what that was, what it meant. We'd never heard of it. And so we showed up at a studio that we ended up working for called ADV Films in Houston and auditioned. And they had us look at the video. We had to try to pair up our voices with the mouth flaps. And it was really sweet because the two directors told both of us that we had been the best people they had had so far all day. And probably within 2 weeks, we got a phone call and we started doing anime voiceover work. So that's
So
that's the boring answer to the question that we saw it in the newspaper.
I remember those times were good. Just look at the ad, and then you just right there, and they get the job afterwards.
Exactly, exactly. I miss those
Yeah.
days.
But sometimes you would have to be careful because you never know, they're going to be sketchy back in the day in those newspaper ads.
Yeah, but this was the Houston Times.
Ah,
So it was pretty, this was back before all of the scamming started and all of the stuff through the internet. So if it was in a local paper, we pretty much knew it was legit.
okay. Question number two: did you have any formal training?
I never had official voiceover training. I would like to think my theater training and my theater work and experiences really had a lot to do with the ability to do good voiceover work. I just started when I was probably in my early 20s doing local commercials when I was in grad school at Texas Tech in Lubbock. Um, my husband also did voiceover work there as well. So we did a lot of voiceover work for commercials, local commercials, and then we got married and moved to where I live now, Shreveport, Louisiana. And we did a lot of voiceover work for commercials here. So really, I just got my experience and training on the job. Didn't really have any official classes. I was lucky.
Wow. It's changed now the way the voice acting is now. But have you heard about Joe Zalata by any chance?
Who?
Joe Zalata? I cannot pronounce it.
No,
No? Well, he's doing voice
no.
acting. He's voice acting courses now. And this one,
Hmm.
basically, he used to do cybersecurity for a while and then switch it to voice acting. And the way it
Oh,
is now
really?
is, yeah, you don't need a degree, you don't need expensive equipment, you don't need to go to LA. There's a way, to become a voice actor now. About getting
Oh, yeah. Yep.
including Steve Bloom. You know about Steve
Yeah, I
Bloom?
lived in, yes, yes.
Steve
I've
Bloom.
heard of him. I've heard of him. Yeah, I lived in Los Angeles back in the early 2000s, and I did some anime voiceover work there. I actually had a commercial agent who would submit me. And but again, you had to be there, you had to be in person. You couldn't do it remotely. This was back in the good old days where you just had to be there.
Okay.
And now I want to say the market is pretty flooded with voiceover artists these days.
Very interesting. Okay. So question three, what was your voice acting experience like?
Um, well, I would probably go back to the experience of anime. It was very visual. We got to watch the video, while we were doing the voiceover. So it was a lot of fun. It uh, it was very challenging in that you don't get the scripts ahead of time. And basically, you go into a booth, and then the director shows you some clips from the show you're about to voice. And then really you look at the script and you just have to start assessing the character pretty quickly and start trying to play around with different rhythms, different placement to try to figure out what's going to best suit the character. And so you had to be pretty quick on your feet. I had taken a lot of improvisational classes, which is really good for you to have to come up with something at the spur of the moment. And so, and it was a lot of fun because you would go in with each project and it could be something completely different than what you did before. So you really got to explore the capability of your voice and learn all the different ways you could make different voices, different characters. And it was also challenging because we never worked with our fellow actors. So sometimes you would go in and the other actor had recorded their part. And so you would actually hear your co actor doing their voice work. Sometimes when they hadn't gotten to that point yet, you would be playing against the Japanese voiceover artist. So it just was, there was never a boring moment doing the anime voiceover. It's probably the most fun I've had doing voiceover work, that and doing cartoons.
Okay. I'm enjoying the series. You're my number seven to finally meet after all this time. Number seven.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm still getting used to this, so I'm still working this interview stuff.
Well,
I've seen
God
other
bless
people.
you.
Oh, thank you. Okay. So, question four: do you have any stories about hell gigs or bad auditions?
Oh my gosh, I have a lot of stories about bad auditions. I would say one of them was a few years ago. I drove to Dallas. There's actually an anime company in Dallas, and I had auditioned for it, and the sound equipment kept messing up, and so I just kept having to adjust to the fact that there was one technical difficulty after the next, and there was a certain voice that they wanted me to do that was really loud and high pitched, and they wanted me to do it over and over and over again. And then they kept losing it. So I kept having to redo the voice over and over. So by the end of that audition, I had pretty much lost my voice. And it all had to do with the technical stuff going south. And a lot of times when you have to repeat over and over someone shouting or having a very shrill voice, it can really affect your vocal cords. So, that was not probably one of my best auditioning experiences, but I got through it and I got some work out of it. So it all went well.
I did. Okay. Question five: do you have any roles that you're drawn to or really taking on?
Um, well, back in the day, I was in my 20s when I did Master of Mosquiton, which was my very most favorite role I've ever played. And she was a 16-year-old nymphomaniac who wanted to be bitten by her master so she could live forever. Nowadays, I take on roles that are more doctor roles, mother roles, villain roles. I love to play the villain. Also, if there's like a spaceship or if there's a battle or something like that, I would usually play lately the one in charge that gives orders, that gives commands. just more of an official type of role that I'm used to playing these days. But my favorite thing to do is play just a nasty old mean villain. Um, I just absolutely love it.
Okay. I remember you from Ines Versage, and that was an interesting character how you played that one. You were another like love interest of Akito Tengara.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
that. That was back when I would play more like the romantic lead or not the villain because I was younger, my voice was more high pitched. Um, the more I did it though, they learned that I did have a good villainous voice, that I used to play a lot of villains when I did what's called melodrama. I don't know if you've ever seen a good theatrical melodrama, but that's when the hero and the heroine are just very, innocent and good, and they're going to save the day, and then the villain is just out to foil the character and to ruin whatever's going on and to ruin everyone's life. And so I'm not like that in real life. And sometimes it's really fun to play against type, against what you're really like. So I could escape into these villainous type roles and just kind of savor being able to act in a way that I would never be able to get away with acting in real life. So
Oh,
it's a lot of fun.
okay. Okay. Question 6. What was your most challenging?
That would be the Master of Mosquiton. Like I said, I played younger than me. She was very aggressive. She screamed a lot. In fact, I was also doing children's theater the same time I was doing the voice for Inaho. And I actually developed vocal nodes, which are like nodules that develop on your vocal cords if you're not using your voice properly. So I remember I had to see actually a voice coach while I was doing all that so that I didn't lose my voice. Voiceover work, especially anime, can be really, really difficult on the vocal cords if you're not using the voice properly, if you're not placing it properly. A lot of times we may try to put it all in our throat, and if we're screaming really loud, then we can do damage to our vocal cords. So she was a really tough part to play because I would be in the booth for, 12 hours every day for 12 hours. It was a big role. And so I would say that would be my most challenging. And also she was very different from me. She was constantly hounding her master because she wanted to be bit. She wanted to live forever, and he refused to do it. And so she would get herself into all kinds of funny predicaments trying to convince him to bite her. And it was great fun. It was just it was a fun place to kind of disappear into and live in that world that was so unlike my own. It was definitely, I think, the most challenging anime role I've had.
Okay. I have to see that one. There's some anime I didn't get to see during the 90s. By the
Oh,
time it
you
was,
need,
yeah,
and
of the old,
I don't know how you'd see it unless, all I have of those days are videotapes.
you know.
Uh, Towards the end of it, they started putting it on DVDs, but I've actually converted all of my anime VHS to DVD and then to thumb drives. So I
Mm.
could send that to you if you'd like. Otherwise, I don't know how you'd find it.
I would check on the anime website. Okay. At times. We have the
Okay.
anime website, but I don't mind that too. Okay.
Yeah, you need to see that one. That's That's a fun one.
Thank you. Question 7. Do you have any wise friend who would like to try voice acting?
I really recommend taking some voiceover acting classes. I think that it's a completely different beast than theater or film because you're just relying on your voice. And so, if there are voiceover acting classes that one could take, I highly recommend that. Um, Also, theater is beneficial because you start to learn how to change your voice to play different characters. You have to learn through theater how to articulate, how to make sure you're understood. You learn how to project from the diaphragm, which is down, in your stomach, as opposed to just, using your, from here up. You want to really support your voice so that again, you don't do any damage to yourself. Um, and audition. I mean, just like my husband and I did, just stay on top of any local auditions, or maybe if there's a place, a lot of times I'll travel to Dallas because I live in kind of a small town in Louisiana. Um, Also get an agent. Um, I have an agent in Louisiana and I have an agent in Texas, and they will get you the auditions that you need to start getting yourself out there so that hopefully casting directors will remember your voice, will remember you, and start to think ahead. Perhaps I've got a project coming up and oh, I really like the sound of her voice. Um, let's go ahead and use her. And then you've got your agent that can work out the contracts, making sure you're getting paid what you should, and all of that. So there's really a lot of work that goes into voiceover work. I was lucky in that I just auditioned and somehow it worked, but you really should get training. I highly recommend doing it. These days you can do a lot of training online. You can find classes and people that teach voiceover work remotely, and you can just do it right in front of your computer instead of having to drive long distances to take like workshops and classes. Also, improv, like I said, improvisational classes help you really think on your feet. You have to create scenarios and characters very quickly. When I first moved to Los Angeles, one of my first agents said I needed to take improvisational classes so that I would be better at commercial work and voiceover work. So that's what I would recommend. It takes a lot.
Okay. Thank you. Question sorry. Question, do you watch any regular, and if so, do you have a favorite show?
Do I watch what?
Anime regularly? And if so, do you have a favorite show?
I hate to tell you this, but I have not watched anime in a while. I need to get back on board with it so that I can stay in touch with what's popular, how I might fit into, the market now. But when I started anime years ago, I just didn't understand, it was just so worldly. I mean, I would go in to do the voice work and the director would say, okay, they're on a planet far, far away, and they would start telling me the plot line, and it's just so out there. So I really need to get back into watching it. I'm embarrassed to say there's not really a show unless you started naming some. What is your favorite?
Well, we got some new ones so far. It's like and this love game one I just watched. They've been done one really good stuff. It's a
Oh,
romantic one,
really?
and yeah, there's some really good ones. And what else? uh oh, Liar Game. a sub and dub. It's like psychological, but it's PG-13. Really good one. The girl is basically
Uh-huh.
honest, typically honest, they say it. And now she's in a game where she has to do a lying, basically. Really
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
This, yeah, it's like a lie type of way.
Wow.
You get a
Yeah,
lot of
I need
money.
to get back. Yeah. I need to get back into watching it. Uh, Sometimes life takes over and you get real busy and you just don't have much time to watch anything really. So,
Uh,
yeah.
have you heard of Star Wars Visions by any chance?
No.
No. I'll
No.
show you the picture if you can see it right now. The Star Wars Visions. I don't know if you can
Oh
see it right
yeah.
now. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
But, they've done 3 seasons with different studios, really short ones, but really good stuff.
Right.
With Disney. And I can send you that one. Some good
Okay. Yeah,
stuff.
I'd love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you a Star Wars fan?
Yes, of course. The
Okay,
very
good.
first Star Wars that came out in the 1970s, that was one of the first film I ever saw. Of course, I love the first three, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I'm old school. I just love the original ones. And
Yeah.
that's Carrie Fisher. I mean, when I was little and saw Star Wars, I wanted to be her. I wanted to live in that world. It was just so unlike anything I'd ever experienced before. Um, so are you a big fan of Star Wars?
Yeah, yeah. I am a huge fan. I always ask the people I interview, like Star Wars, and then I'll ask a Star Wars question. And put this
Uh-oh.
I'd like to ask you, what would you if you or your character had the Jedi Force, what would you do with it? What would you use it for?
You froze there for a minute. If we had to do what?
If you had the Jedi Force, if you or one of your characters from the anime you work with, if they had the Jedi Force, what would you do with it? What would you use it for?
I would want to make myself disappear.
Really? Why?
I mean, I'd still be there, but other people wouldn't be able to see me anymore. I would love to have that power.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I'm glad I'm making you laugh on this one. I tell the voice actors there that you're supposed to make the fans laugh and cry again. That's supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
To apologize. That's what I tell you.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, question 10. Who are some of your favorite? Oh, yes. Question 10. Who are some of your favorite people to work with?
In anime?
Yeah. Anime or anywhere.
Okay. Goodness. So I still am fond of the ones that were in the shows that I did back in the 90s and 2000s. I loved, do you know Spike Spencer?
Yeah, Spike, yes. I remember him from my childhood. 3 times I got to hear his voice, and I still enjoy his voice. So, yeah.
Yes. We did film together as well as anime. So I really got to know him. Um, let's see, my husband, David Lamaster. I don't know if you've heard of his stuff, but I like him.
Oh, I heard of him.
Um, Lou Temple. Do you know
Temple.
Lou?
I think I've heard of it, but maybe not too much.
Jessica Calvello.
I've heard of her, yes. Or,
Yes.
yes.
Jason Douglas.
Jason, yes, I've heard of Jason.
David Matranga.
Oh, yes, yes, him I love. Yep, him I like his works. He just did an anime. Sentence to be Hero. I have to send you that one too. It's a good one, that one too.
Okay.
Yeah.
We all started together in Houston back in the day. I mean, we all did theater together, film together, and then anime together. So those continue to be some of my favorite voiceover artists that I've worked with. Unfortunately, we're never in the same room. We may run into each other, after we're finishing up in the booth and someone else is coming into the booth. But unfortunately, we've never worked together in a booth before. So, but there's some oldies but goodies.
Yeah, I like hearing the yes.
Hmm.
Have you you ever met Tiffany Grant by any chance?
No, uh-uh.
No? Okay, well, because, I'm glad I'm doing this interview because she has her own Facebook fan club and she's normally on Facebook. And she mentioned you one time. She didn't meet you in person, but your voice is like very productive, I would say. And
Oh,
she,
how sweet.
yeah, so because the fans, they want to know what happened to you, in her club, in her fan club.
Hmm.
Want to
Hmm.
know, and so I don't know if the cast of March and Jessica, I really missed them. The ones who let voice acting. I don't know if you met Jennifer Kate Adler or Tamara Lowe. They were also March and Jessica.
I mean, like I said, we don't, unfortunately, unless I had gone to those conventions, then I probably would have met a lot of these people. I only knew the handful of people I just called off because also did theater and film together.
Right. Okay.
I would love to have worked more closely with some of my fellow actors and met them, a lot of them. There was a lot of them I never met. But I would hear them all the time in other anime films. So
Yeah.
that's part of why I regret not having gone to the conventions because I could have met the fans and more people like you. And it's just very flattering to know that there are people like you out there that really enjoyed my work. I mean, it's very meaningful and very sweet. So it means a lot to me. It really does.
Thank you. Because they really want to know what happened. And I still miss them. The ones you only hear the voice once, and that's it, and then nothing. I'm
I
trying my best.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I know. I would love if they made another Master of Mosquiton and I get to do it again, but older.
Yeah.
Maybe the vampire still hasn't bit her and she still wants to be a vampire and she's still bothering this poor vampire to
Okay.
bite her so she can be immortal.
All right. Um, let's see. Let's see this. Sorry. I'm
That's
on.
okay.
I'm still working on this. Oh, I have it from my email here. So, question: do you have any advice for people to prepare for auditions?
Well, like I said before, a lot of times you go in and you don't have the script ahead of time. So you have to really, work on your feet, create on your feet. I think having the training and having some kind of idea of maybe what the project is, like if it's a comedy, then you need to be prepared to kind of show your comedic chops. If it's going to be more of like a violent show or a violent film, or if you know ahead of time you are going to be auditioning for the villain. A lot of times what I will do is I will start watching some of my favorite villains on TV and kind of get inspiration and ideas and suggestions that way of, okay, well, I know I'm going to audition for a villain. Um, I love Vivian Lee in Gone with the Wind. She was very much kind of like a villain. So there's certain things I'm going to want to do to emulate kind of her character because it's something I can do well, it's something that I can imitate. Um, so that, a lot of times you just don't have the time, and that's where improvisational training helps. So you can think on your feet and kind of create a little bit quicker. But if you have any idea what the project is ahead of time, um, start watching different characters on TV or TV shows or movies and just find one that really inspires you to be able to create and emulate that voice. That would be my suggestion.
Okay. So, question 12. Do you have any advice for people to boost their name and start getting roles?
Um, well, conventions, that would be a very good place to start. Even if you've just done a couple of gigs and you start getting invited to the conventions, the more people that you meet, the more opportunity there is out there. Um, take classes, take voiceover classes, but also, I think it's a lot easier now to promote yourself because it's just so easy to do it on the internet. Create your own website, create your own Facebook page. Um, there's just a lot more opportunity now to create your own image. Try to get an agent, try to get someone who knows how to submit you for different jobs. Um, Try to go to workshops and meet different directors, meet different casting directors. You really have to just kind of get your face and your voice out there. We didn't have the internet back in the day, so it was more of a solo gig. I mean, we worked at this one studio in Houston because that's where we lived. Um, Now I remember I'd lived in Los Angeles for a while and then had to move back to Houston, and my agent from LA started calling me saying that different directors of projects had seen me in different shows and called them and said, how can we get her to audition, for a project coming up? And so the more representation that you have, if you have a manager or an agent or someone working in your corner, then, there's more opportunity to meet the right people. So I think it's a lot easier for people nowadays to really develop a following based on the internet and all the different ways the internet can help us be seen and promote our work.
Okay.
And audition, audition, audition.
Too. Yeah, I agree. All right. So I'm gonna and are you still in touch with David Mantranga by any chance?
Yes, we've kept in touch for a while. We've always kind of lived in separate places. Uh, I think he's in Dallas now. I hadn't talked to him in maybe a year or so, but we've stayed pretty much in touch.
Oh, okay. Did you see the one about him at the convention where he met the 4-year-old with the rare birthmark by any chance?
No, I haven't.
Okay, you're gonna love this one. I have to show you on the YouTube right now. It's really a special one of him.
Okay.
I just hope you're able to hear it. All right. In.
Costumes, 4-year-old Winry Hall stands out just for being herself. She has a birthmark like me. No cosplay needed to dress like her favorite anime character. Todoroki. Her parents have been fan of Shoto's anime My Hero Academia for years, and when Winry was born with a rare congenital, they couldn't help but notice the resemblance. One this size is really like one in a million almost, like, and especially with it being on her face, so they're pretty rare. It's why they always wanted to make sure she grew up appreciating what makes her unique. Match me. It matches you. This video went viral on TikTok, Winry lighting up with excitement when her mom finally found a Shoto plushie at their local store. It's pretty crazy knowing for like 10 times the people of your town have seen it more than that. It's insane. The video also grabbed the attention of GalaxyCon, and as luck would have it, the English-speaking voice of Shoto, David Matranga, was in Raleigh. Winry taking her first ever flight along with her whole family from Missouri to RDU, all for this moment. You think I'm ready to see? So cute. For Winry, a chance to meet, and for David, a moment as an actor he never expected. You're doing it kind of in a vacuum. You don't know how it's being received always. You don't know as you're doing it what the impact will be. And so when you have something as direct as this where there was an impact that way, It's really, really special. And just like in the show, where Shoto's friends make him realize being a hero isn't based on how you look, for Winry, a real-life anime plot twist of her own, getting to fast forward right to the best part. She's so adorable and so cute. It was an amazing connection. What did you think about meeting David? Good. In Raleigh, Tom George, ABC 11,
Oh,
Eyewitness News.
wow.
Okay.
That is
Because
so special. Thank you for sharing
yeah,
that with me. It's good to see
okay.
him.
Did
Wow.
you ever saw that before?
No, I have not seen that. That's a real tearjerker.
Oh yeah, it's on his Instagram as well. He's got that, and it's on the
Thank you.
GalaxyCon YouTube. Uh huh. I'm glad.
Wow.
I'm glad I showed it. Yeah, everyone's talking
Thank
about it. They like it,
you.
especially the Japanese as well. They like the video too.
Oh,
Mhm.
good. Good. Well,
Yeah.
thank you for sharing that with me. It's good to see
Okay.
him again.
I like to show that one. Everyone's reaction to that video is a good one. For all the ones that didn't
Yes.
see.
Oh my gosh, that's so sweet. So sweet. Such a good message. Such a
Yeah,
good message.
that's the way we need to be because we need more positivity right now going on in the world right now. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
because it's just getting hard right now, and we started. Let's spread some positivity in these videos.
Yes,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
agree. Anything to
All right.
make us smile and laugh.
Uh, so, question 13. What's the most unusual thing you've been asked to voice?
Hmm. I
Take your
would have
time.
to go back to Master of Mosquiton. You really need to see it.
Okay. Okay.
It was her voice was so unique. It was so high pitched. It was so energetic. The things that she would say would just make you blush. I mean, I was saying some of the most inappropriate things with this character. Um, it literally, I know I keep using that as an example, but that's probably the biggest anime role I've ever had. A lot of the times I would maybe be a supporting actor or supporting character or a minor role, but she just she was very much the kind of person that I always wanted to be. She wasn't shy. She was very flirtatious. She didn't get embarrassed by anything. She just kind of lived life by the seat of its pants. And she, she was just very, very, very funny. And it was just a lot of fun to play her. Like I said, I wish that we could go back and kind of do a reboot and see what she would be up to in her later years in life. So if anybody's watching this that had anything to do with the making of Master of Mosquiton, please make more. Please make more. I want to do that character again. Her name was Inaho, and it was just fun to sit in that booth and make the directors laugh because really that's all you have to go by is the reaction you get from your directors. You can't really sit with audience members and see how they respond because you're not with them. So trying to get your directors to react to what you're doing is just very rewarding. And the more you can make them laugh, the more confident you are that what you're doing is really working. So I keep going back to that part, but it's probably the most favorite role I've ever played, whether it be theater, film, or voiceover.
Okay. Question 14. What do you want your legacy to be?
Um, you mean it with it as far as anime is concerned, or
Sure.
just in general? Um,
No more is
well,
fine either way.
I think I'm living the legacy now. I think by having fans like you. I know that I've entertained people, I've made people smile, I've made people reach out. I've brought some joy to what might otherwise be a difficult life for someone. That's really the way I view any kind of entertainment that I do, whether it's singing, whether it's theater, whether it's commercial work. I just want to be remembered as kind of spreading a light and spreading joy and helping someone get through what might otherwise be a difficult day, a difficult week, a difficult month, a difficult year. Kind of like that wonderful clip you just showed me with David. I mean, that's the kind of legacy I would want, is that joy he spread to that little girl and helping her realize that her uniqueness is what makes her so special. That would be the kind of legacy that I would want as well.
Okay, that's it. Thank you for that. Question 15. Where does your inspiration come from?
Probably growing up watching Saturday morning cartoons with my dad.
Oh,
This was back in the day, Looney Tunes characters, Bugs Bunny. Um, oh, my mind's going blank. Bugs Bunny, the
Daffy Duck?
Roadrunner, Daffy Duck, um, Tweety Bird. We would every Saturday morning we would watch cartoons, and my dad would always he and I would always imitate the cartoons that we were watching on the television, and it was every Saturday morning it was a tradition, and I think that's those early cartoons. Snow White, Sleeping Beauty, all of the old Disney cartoons. I think that was a big inspiration for me to want to do voiceover work, and be like those characters that I grew up watching. The Tasmanian Devil. I love the Tasmanian Devil. If you didn't grow up on those cartoons, I recommend going back and trying to watch some clips.
Oh, no, I love those cartoons. Did you ever watch Tom and Jerry by any chance?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. What are
Yeah.
some of your favorites? Tom and Jerry?
Yeah, Tom and Jerry's one. The Looney Tunes you have. Then there was they had the one the Tax Avery show, I remember. They would have all different cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's that Boomerang. Now you have Hanna-Barbera's cartoons. You got Scooby-Doo,
Right.
Scooby-Doo favorite. They're my favorite.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's my generation. That's what I grew up with. That's what inspired me not just to do voice work, but just to be in the entertainment business altogether because, it brought me and my dad together. We laughed. That's how we connected to one another, which makes it very special. And I decided I want to be up on that screen, maybe making other families become closer and more connected by watching me do that.
That's good. I like that. Question 16. What's the most surprising thing you learned about yourself through voice acting?
Hmm, that's a good question. Most surprising thing. I guess that I did have the ability to create such different and diverse characters. I didn't know I really had it in me because I started off very young, and going into it, I just had no idea that all of these different voices could come out of me. I go back to that very first audition when the director said to me and my husband, y'all have been the best people so far today. I just didn't know I had that in me to just rely only on my voice to communicate a story because, Usually we've got our whole body, our face, our arms, our expressions on our face. But when it's just whittled down to the voice, I personally think that takes a very unique talent set. And the more anime I did and the more different characters that were thrown at me, I just didn't know I had it in me to play all those different characters. And so I think that was pretty surprising for me. That even at age, what, 27, I had the ability to believably play a 16-year-old girl or maybe a 60-year-old woman. I just, if it weren't for my experience with anime, I may have never have known that about myself. So I really have a lot to be grateful for my anime career. I think it built a lot of confidence in my ability to maybe do other things in life that I didn't think I could do. It gave me that confidence to know I can be versatile. I can present different scenarios and different characters and really create the fans like you, which has been probably the most rewarding part of all of it. So I think that's what has been surprising for me
Okay. Excellent.
and rewarding.
All right. Question 17. If you could use one as sound effect for the rest of your career, what could it be?
Oh gosh, there's two I love. I love the little old-fashioned sound like on a cartoon when they're shooting um like rays out of a gun and it would make kind of this pew 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 pew. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking
okay.
about? Or
Yeah,
am I
yeah.
am I showing my age? Did you ever see
No,
Flash Gordon, the movie Flash Gordon?
no, I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it. I need to
Oh,
see
you need to see that. Oh my gosh, it's so much fun and it's pure cartoon. It's from the comic book. The movie came out in 1980.
it. Okay.
So whenever they would shoot their razors at each other, it would go pew, 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 pew. And then I love the sad trombone, that whole wah wah wah.
And I love it.
Yep.
I still keep that
Those
one.
show
That
my
one's
age too. Yep.
okay. Well, thank you for that. Question 18. What is one thing about being a voicer that most people don't realize or wouldn't expect?
Well, I think like we've talked about, I think that they assume that we're all in a room together and that we're
Mhm.
all doing the voice interactions together in one room and that we actually meet each other. Um, Unfortunately, that's not the way it is. I wish it was different and we could all meet each other. Um, but and also it is a very isolating job. You are in a booth. You're not even really close to your director. They're in another room behind another set of windows. And so, um, you're not on set. You're not in the midst of whatever setting, the show that you're in. It could be on the beach or it could be in another planet or you're just literally in this tiny little room, with headphones on with a window in front of you and you don't get to really work with the other actors. And so I think a lot of people don't realize that going into it. So unfortunately, when you ask, what was it like working with so and so? Well, I mean, we don't always meet. So it's the reality of it. And like I said, it would be wonderful if we could all meet each other. I think that's a lot of what those conventions are about as well. is you get to meet the fellow artists that you work with. So I think that's something a lot of people don't realize about voiceover work is that it's very isolating. You're just there in a room by yourself.
Yeah. That's what I thought back then as a kid, that you guys would meet each other, but you guys never met at all whatsoever. On that episode
Now
I
we
showed
knew,
you, hmm?
I
What
mean,
were you
we
gonna say?
knew each other because, yeah, we knew each other because we did theater together, but otherwise, I've worked opposite a lot of actors I've never met.
Mm, a bit tough, you don't get to meet them. And I was surprised some of them left
Yeah.
voice acting for something else. I was really surprised by that.
Yes.
Like in the one I just showed you, because that one, James Earl Jones and Carrie Fisher never met in real life. James was in the sound booth
Hmm.
recording that leader, and Carrie was playing the daughter, of course. And those two met in that
Exactly.
episode. Yeah, and everyone was like
Yep.
so shocked about it. That's what I like
That's
about
another reality. Sometimes you don't meet the actors you work with even on film or TV. You might be in a on a separate set and you never even meet each other.
it. Question 19. If you could voice one type of project for the rest of your life, would you choose children's cartoons, video games, or a questionable product?
Oh, I would love to do cartoons. My husband and I got to be on for the Disney Channel, we got to be on a cartoon where we played all different, it was called, what was that called? We played different fish and different creatures in the ocean. Um, oh my gosh, that was so much fun because, we got to do different sound effects and different weird little voices for the different fish we played. And I just would love to continue to do cartoon voiceover because, the point of it is to really, for the most part, entertain kids. That's the primary audience that's watching you. And it's just a lot of fun. It takes a lot of energy. And I've never, to be honest, done any video games. I've never done, actually, that's not true. I did a few in Houston. Those are fun too. I don't know. I would love to do all of it. I don't
Okay.
know about questionable. I had to do nudity one time when I did an anime movie. They paid me more, and I was like, I never thought I'd do nudity, but it was the cartoon. It wasn't me. I mean, if they
No.
pay me more, yeah, they paid me
Yeah.
more for that.
Okay. That's a good. So, question 20. What's the one thing that you learned from a character that you apply to your own life?
Oh gosh. Well, this doesn't have anything to do with anime. Are you familiar
Yes.
with the story, the documentary called Grey Gardens? You're probably too young.
Maybe not. No. I think I've heard of it, but I'm
Yeah, it was a documentary. It was about a mother and a daughter, real life mother and daughter who lived in a mansion that they really couldn't keep care of. They, lost their money. They couldn't take care of it. And so it started falling apart. And I was in a musical version of that documentary. I played both the mother and the daughter. And if you Google Grey Gardens, I highly recommend watching the documentary. But I also had a very strong relationship with my mother. And so, really, the whole story is about that point in your life when it's not the parent taking care of the child, it's now the child taking care of the parent. That's really what the whole um, basis of what the story is about. And that was an amazing experience for me because not only did I get to play the mother and daughter in the musical and I got to sing, but it also was a big teaching tool of how, at this point in my life, I was then going to step into the role of taking care of my mother. Sometimes they say art imitates life, and that was a project. I know it's not voiceover related or anime related, but it's hard. It's really kind of hard to equate a lot of the anime roles with your own life because they're so far-fetched and they're so out there. Um, but I go back to Master of Mosquiton. Inaho had this just spirit. She was fearless. She wasn't afraid of anything. And that is more like what I want to continue to be in my life is just fearless, not let fear stand in the way of doing what I love and what I enjoy. Not letting myself get embarrassed by, worrying about what people think. Just live my life to the fullest. And that's something I really admired about her character that I want to be like more with my own character. That was kind of a long answer.
No, it's fine. That's perfectly fine with me. It can be long or short, whatever one works. That's fine. Question 20. Do you have a favorite voice you get asked to do?
Probably just my really deep, dark, villainous, oh my gosh, I'm going to ruin your life, and oh, you're the most horribly ugly person I've ever seen. I don't know how your mother gave birth to you. I mean, people seem to really like my villain. And my villainous laugh.
You're about to laugh at. I like it. Question 20. How do you explain your voice acting job to people who don't get it?
Probably a lot like what we've talked about. It's a very solitary, isolating job. You don't work with the people that you're doing a scene with. That you don't necessarily even reap the benefits of seeing how the audience reacts to the work that you're doing. A lot of times in all of the anime work that we do, we don't even get to see it. So, a lot of it just has to do with working independently on your own by yourself. It takes a lot of confidence to not necessarily rely on other actors around you, but just depend on your own work and your own interpretation. Um, but also, I mean, like we said before, it's a lot easier to get into the line of work of voiceover work now because of the internet. There's just so much more possibility, such an easier way of auditioning because you don't even have, you can do it remotely. You've got all the equipment that they have now, the technical equipment, Pro Tools, and you basically do your own work yourself. You record it yourself, you send it off yourself. You do it in your own home. There's some voiceover artists that do it out of their closet because that's the best, sound that they can get where you don't hear their dogs barking or the children screaming. There's just so many more opportunities to do voiceover work nowadays because of the internet. The internet's made it a lot easier for us to do a lot more work.
I like that. It's helping us, to go. Like you can work from home now instead of having to leave, to go to the studio just in case.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And just like how we're doing the interview here, instead of going like for to a convention or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can do this. We can do this online, except for the blip of my video not working on my laptop. We somehow made this work.
Oh, it's okay. I use my phone sometimes. It's always a problem sometimes when you're doing other stuff.
Yes,
But everyone tries their best on it. Mhm.
absolutely.
All right. So, question 23. What is your process for preparing for a role?
Um, well, as far as like I said with anime, unfortunately, we don't have much time. You know, we'll get in the booth and the director will show us a clip. They'll say, "Okay, this is the scene you're going to be doing." And then we have the script right there in front of us. And kind of as we're watching the scene in front of us, we start kind of going through the different voices in our head of what we think this character might sound like. And, then we'll rehearse for a little bit so that the director can say, yes, that works. No, that's not really what I'm looking for. Why don't we try something else? But the way you really prepare to do voiceover work is is by studying. It's by practice. It's by, maybe at home when you're bored, stand there and look in the mirror and do the voiceover. If you're watching a TV show, try to imitate the voices that you're hearing on the show. The more practiced you do, maybe in the privacy of your own home, then when you show up for these shoots and there's not a lot of time, you kind of have a bag of voices you can pull from. Well, I'm going to pull my young, energetic ingenue voice. No, that doesn't work. Well, let me pull um, my giddy, high pitched, silly voice. Well, that doesn't work. The more voices you have in your voice bag, then even if you don't have a lot of time to come up with it, you will have those different voices to pull from because, it's not like theater where you rehearse for a month and then you put up the play. You literally go into the booth and you have maybe all of 10 minutes to figure out what you're going to do. So that would be my advice.
Okay. So we're gonna see what question 24. Since you didn't meet too many of the cast of March and Nadesco, did you meet someone or like one person?
No,
No.
I did
Okay.
not. It just, like I said, I knew
No.
them because we knew each other already. That's, but no, we don't meet each other. It's
Okay.
sad, but it's true.
Okay. And you never met with Tiffany, Grant?
No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay. That was my other question, but
I would love to meet her now, though.
okay. Because the on the Facebook it's on about that about you. They mentioned you
Oh,
on her.
really?
Yeah, I have to show you, and I'll show it really quickly
Oh,
and what she says about you.
oh my gosh.
Yeah, because I said I haven't been on there that long Facebook, and I don't use the social too much. I'm a quiet guy that keeps to myself at times.
Yes, I am too.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, what she said. This is like the oldest picture of you right here, I think. I don't know if you can see it.
That's actually the most recent picture of me.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Those are my last set of headshots. I
Oh,
need
okay.
new ones. I need new ones.
Okay. That's the one from for Tiffany Grant's fan club. And
Okay.
her fans are curious about you. This is what Tiffany says. I think I may have met Heather once, but I never really knew her. A great body of work, she says. You can
Oh,
see
that's so
it.
sweet.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see it. It's a bit hard to see it. Sorry.
Yeah, that is so sweet.
Okay. That's what Tiffany says about you.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
that's one of the most rewarding things knowing that we've made an impact and that someone really likes our work. I think that's the best part.
Because I've been trying to find you for a long time. All of a sudden, and I never found no interview whatsoever about you on YouTube, not once. And I'm glad I finally found you.
I'm glad you found me too.
Because I only heard your voice the one time was in that character of Martin Necisco as Ines
Uh,
Fraulein, and that was very. I was very young. I was 5 years old.
oh my God,
But
I feel old.
yeah, you're amazing, beautiful. I'm gonna say the word beautiful, and I'm gonna say the word badass because you're a badass, and I tell the other
Oh,
voice, you're badass voice actors. That's what you are.
I've
You're all
never been
awesome.
called badass in my life. I love
Okay,
it.
okay,
Thank
good, good,
you.
good, good. Good. Because I told Dorothy Fan, another voice actress, she's played mom character, and she started around the '90s. Tell me how
Hmm.
they didn't have animes weren't popular back then until the late '90s afterwards.
Right.
And she's done with her and her husband Tom Fun. You've heard of Dorothy Fun and Tom Fun by any chance?
No.
They've been doing voice acting a long time.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever saw the video I sent you about that one. That was the one I sent you.
Oh, I did. I did watch that. Yes. Yes. I did. Thank you for sending that because it helped me kind of see what this was all about.
So I just want to that I'm gonna take too much of your time, but this one was really special to me.
Yeah.
The Bachelor fans have something now to know about you.
Well, hopefully, I've been one of your favorite interviews.
Okay. Oh no, really, it is. It really is. 'Cause,
Yes.
I'm
It's
still
so
trying
nice to
hard.
meet you.
Yes.
Um,
So I
you
just have
need
one more.
to, okay,
Huh?
go ahead.
So okay, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans?
Just thank you. Like I just said, this has been, it can be a very isolating job. You don't have immediate feedback from like a theater audience. And so, especially, hearing from people like you that, because the fans are everything, without the fans, there would be, we wouldn't have the shows that we have and we wouldn't be able to do the work that we do. And just hearing from fans, knowing that we've maybe, made their day brighter or their life brighter, or just like the video you showed of David Matranga, I think uh, that was probably the most rewarding thing for him, that he made that much of an impact on that little girl's life. Um, I just, thank you so much for just listening and watching and enjoying and letting me know that I made some kind of a positive impact.
Okay.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay. So I won't take too much of your time. I just need just a few more minutes, and I'll be quick.
Sure.
You a story real quickly. It's with the impact, everyone needs hope right now. But it's just gotten so hard right now.
Exactly.
And it's just, I'm just tired of hearing what's going on in the news, and with this war going on, it's just, because when we had the net disco one, that was like the war was going on. I remember
Hmm.
there were opposites with that. We did this nice one. This is from Syria, woman. So this one is, well, two sources. Anime can help people around the world through hardships. A Syrian woman identified simply as Suzanne told the Japanese media Ashi Shumba about how much anime has meant to her and other Syrians. Suzanne originally from Apollo that during darker moments while surviving the Syrian civil war, she would find courage from a line slammed up. When you give up, that's when the game is over. Her home was destroyed by bombs during the war, and she had to flee to different places. No place was safe, she said, but she kept thinking about the slam dunk line. When I felt like giving up, I told myself to try again. Anime has been built in the Middle East for decades, and Suzanne, who is in her 30s, grew up with it. What is interesting about Japanese anime is that it tells us the world is not just filled with good things and good people, but also bad things about people. She remarked to the
Hmm.
Ashishimu, on top of that, I like that anime depicts people who are trying their best to make the future a better place. She is currently living in Japan and taking part in a doctoral program. After major earthquakes hit Syria in 2023, she says that Attack on Titan has been helpful for her fellow Syrians. Many people seem to be comparing the earthquake to the giants and trying to stay strong, she commented. She described a person who remarked to her, I've been waiting for something like this. It helps me forget my fear of the earthquakes for me. She wants people to know that anime can be more than simple entertainment for many people, including herself. Syria has been saved by Japanese anime many times. Were you able to
Oh,
hear?
wow.
Yep.
Wow. Powerful.
Mm-hmm. And I have another story right here, and this one's going to be interesting. Have you heard of a silent voice by any chance?
Silent what?
Voice?
Silent voice.
Yeah, it's a movie one, but it's really good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I
So I
don't
read
think
you
I
this.
have.
Well, I can send you this one, and
Please
I'll see
do.
what. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll send you this one I have on a YouTube called "The Day I Become a God." It's really a good one. It's a genre one, but it's really good. You'll love it. Okay. So we do this one story about Shoko Lexi Martin. Calvin says assignment was a healing for her. Okay. As part of AX Cinema Nights, assignment was returned to theaters on October 12th of both dub and sub. Lexi Martin, a professional actress who plays Shoko in the English dub, is deaf like her character. She spoke to otakus about her connection with Shoko, how playing the character was a healing for her, and what she's up to now. How did you get the job of playing Shoko in the silent voice? I've been acting ever since I was a kid. When my agent subbed me for this voice overall for Shoko, I was excited to jump on board. Just auditioning for the role was so much fun. It was definitely uncharted territory for me. Luckily, my husband, who's also an actor, has been in the voiceover for industry for years. He guided me every step of the way. I developed a newfound appreciation for that. For the work and for voiceover actors, it seems simple, but it's a lot of work and creates such a huge impact on every project. How did you approach playing Shoko? Had you done voiceover work before? I had never done voiceover before, this was a new challenge. I struggled hearing the beeps in the sound booth, and had to be cued as when to say the lines. The directors were incredible. They have such a love and respect for anime, and I wanted to make them proud. I found myself wanting to make sure that it had Shoko justice because she deserved to finally have her voice heard in the way it was meant to be heard. You have said that playing Shoko was a healing for you. How so? Growing up, I was severely bullied and made fun of. I found myself identified with Shoko, her pauses, her hesitation, her despair, her anger, and her exhaustion. It brought up all these memories and feelings I had kept bottled up for years from being picked on. To be in that little sound booth when it was just me and the directors and Bowser and Shoko on the screen, I felt I could finally let it all out and just channel it through her character. I will always treasure Shoko for helping me here. Are you an anime fan personally? Do you have any favorite titles? A silent voice, of course. I've always loved going to the conventions and being a part of the comic and anime world. After a silent voice, I have developed a complete respect for the work of anime and its beautiful storytelling. Where can people find out more about you and work? I'm working on a few projects and just got back into directing them. No matter what future project I will be working on, I will always carry Shoko with me and thankful for showing me that there is beauty in healing.
That made me cry, tear up.
Oh
That's
yeah,
so beautifully worded.
she's deaf in real life, and that was a really good one that they had her in the dub, in the English dub.
Hmm. Oh my gosh. That was very
Yes.
eloquently put. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes, so I have the movie, but I need to watch it. I've seen a few scenes on the YouTube, but I really need to
Yes. Yes.
watch it. And I'll just well, two more things, and then we'll call it a day. I won't take too much of your time.
Okay. That's
It's
okay.
really, okay. Okay. I'm glad we finally got to meet because
I
I
am
never,
too.
I never thought I would do this.
Oh,
So, did you ever meet Shelly Claimblack by any chance?
no.
Oh, okay. There's one video I found for her after another guy. He does his own, and he does a really good job with these videos he does. Did you ever meet Kira Bitson Davis?
No.
Oh, well,
I feel like I've missed out on a lot. from meeting these wonderful people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, she still does voice acting. I still love her voice. Growing up, as she played Ruri in March and Successor and Desco. That's
Oh,
amazing.
okay.
And I've enjoyed her voice growing up, and her laugh is so amazing. She does a really good job. Uh-huh. I'll go show you this one. Right. Yeah, I remember this song. This still song gets to me. This one. Oh, shit. Okay.
I can't hear it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could have made it. You hear that or some of it? That was the
I
song
love the
from the
lyric.
movie. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the song I still love as a kid from that one.
Oh,
It still gets stuck to my head at times. That's the one I love.
oh. I love that you're such a fan. I think that's great.
All right. And so, just one more thing before I'm very sorry about what happened to your friend that you told
Thank
me about.
you.
What was
Thank you.
what was she or he like to work with?
Oh my goodness. So Peter, I met Peter when we were in college at Centenary College here in Shreveport. He played, we were in a Shakespeare play together. We didn't do anime voiceovers together, but we did theater together. And he played, I don't know if you're familiar with A Midsummer Night's Dream, Shakespeare, but
Or
he played Puck. Um, Peter was one of the most energetic, funny, uh, mischievous. He loved to get himself into trouble. He loved to get his friends into trouble. He was very adventurous. He actually, over the last couple of years, he started a coffee business. He brewed coffee here in Shreveport, Louisiana. He was big into charity work, and it was a very, very tough funeral. And I appreciate you being so sweet and understanding. He talk about someone with a huge legacy. He's taught us so much about living each minute to the fullest, to continue to be grateful for friends and family, to stay close to friends and family, and to not take life for granted because you never know, when it might be your last day. So I really, the whole community has been hit hard by the loss of Peter. So thank you so much for asking me about that. I really appreciate it.
I'm glad I did because when I did the interview with Dorothy, and we talked about another voice actor, and he died unexpected cancer, and those two never got a chance to meet in the Trigon anime they worked in, and we had to make a tribute for them. You know, it's not fair you don't get to meet
Yeah,
them. And
it
I'm doing
is.
this. Yeah, yeah.
Well, thank you
And,
so much.
thank you. So just about one more thing for you. And I don't know if you can say it as Ions for Saj in the March and Jessica if you could. Could you say, just remember, kids, there's a badass in us all when it comes to anime?
Okay, say that again.
Could you say, just remember, kids, there's a badass in us all when it comes to anime? In your
Just
voice of,
remember, kids, there's a badass in us all when it comes to anime.
thank you for that. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Because the kids need hope right now, you know. Crazy what we're going through, you know. And
Exactly.
you're an example, you know, and the kids need you. It's love.
Thank you. Are you going to send this to me or how do I?
No, no, I'm gonna send you the video. I'm just gonna make sure it's gonna take a little time for everything, you know, on the Zoom and stuff. So I have to give it some,
Understood.
yeah.
Understood.
And I thank you for allowing me to do this. And I just wanted
Thank
one more
you.
thing, if I could say that, you know, I wouldn't be in this world, you know. I was born prematurely. I just want to tell you about myself. Being born
Okay.
prematurely, I was to be in this world. You know? And you have a fantastic afternoon, Miss Heather Bryson. Oh,
Thank you. Thank you so
yeah.
much. It's such an honor to meet you and thank you for being such a wonderful fan.
Thank you for allowing me to. And I promise I'm going to send you the video, and I'm going to make sure that the Tiffany gets it too. I've been in contact with Tiffany and with Kim
Oh,
Savar. Yeah, actually.
yes.
Well, I'll send
Thank
you on
you.
her. I promise.
Thank you.
Okay. You have a
All right.
wonderful. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
You too. All right. Bye-bye.
Thank you.